everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Zero Day. I'm your host NJ, and today we are here with Shivang Trivedi. Shivang is a elite bug bounty hunter. He has hacked into Sony, Google, BlackBerry, Mercedes-Benz, and the list goes on. He is a elite bug bounty hunter, elite CTF player, and a security researcher. So let's join him in our today's talk. Hello Shivang, how are you?
Hello. Hi.
Hello, how's everything?
Yeah, great. What about you?
I'm good. So let's
Great.
start with our today's talk.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so tell our viewers that how you started in hacking, what's your journey is like.
Um, the first one would be like everyone's, as a kid, wanted to play games, so used to take mom and dad's parents, brute force the passcode, and then play games. Later on, started with some stuff, and while in 10th or 11th, maybe, got to know about Technical Sapien and Pratik Dhabi, your page Cyberhawk, and
Yeah,
started following you guys. Later on, learn few skills like fishing, wishing, and all of those stuff, but that wasn't useful much enough at that point of time. So I thought, how could I earn from this? I like it, but how could I earn? Then asked Pratik Dhabi, and then he guided me through some of the stuff that you could start with bug hunting. You should learn those vulnerabilities in web apps, and then started with it.
yeah, everyone starts from cracking password and phishing attacks and hacking their
Yeah,
friends, right? So
right.
that's where everyone starts. But everyone should know that there is a proper field called cybersecurity and infosec, and they should know
Yeah,
about it, right?
right.
Okay, so you started with, following infosec pages like us. You got to know about the community, you connected with
Yeah,
people and started your journey, right?
right.
So, like, if I ask specifically about bug bounty, how you got to know about bug bounties and where did you start?
I saw the video from someone on YouTube stating that you could earn at least 50,000 per month by doing this. And I was like,
Okay,
I am doing this, but I'm not earning anything. I
right,
watched the whole video, got to know that there is something where you can go and report bugs, vulnerabilities, and then you could get easily a large sum of money. It's just that
right.
you need to work hard and should know the concept, and then you could clear it out. So started with that, and later on moved forward. Got to know
Okay,
Pratik Dhabi, so and then Aditya Shande. Talked with those guys that how to do, how to come into this, what should I know for basics, and then yeah, pretty much that's
so
it.
Pratik Davi and Aditya Shinde are two of your, you know.
Yeah, and later on
Okay.
it was always you may be knowing that Nilesh and Daniel, they were also one
Yes,
of the
yes,
guys
yes,
that
yes,
have
yes.
helped me out on the start. So
Yeah,
this were four
these
guys.
are yeah. So these are old people on the community. They are here for forever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you start? What were the resources you first studied before starting this field?
Networking would be one of them.
Computer
And then,
networks.
yeah, I learned few
Yes.
things about networks, how backend works. You should know that how the data is passing through servers when you are applying the payload.
Right.
Starting with those and then moved forward. Web Hackers Handbook Part 2. That's like a Bible in our
Okay.
hands. You should know
Yeah.
everything from that. Yeah, and pretty much that's it. Started with vulnerabilities like CORS, CSRFs as usual, and then moved on
Okay.
and on.
Okay. So if I ask you to share any bug bounty resource, what a beginner should look at for practicing or for video, anything like that.
Yeah, I have been asked this question a lot later on, but it
Yeah.
should always be Web Hackers Handbook.
So
That's
web
like
happer.
from
Yeah.
that's like from where a beginner can start. They could get to know what a vulnerability is, how it's working, why it's impactful, and how can a malicious attacker use it on the companies. So yeah,
Right, right, right. So web application hackers handbook is a
yeah.
essential one, right? And
Right.
then when you after start, like I have studied that book. Okay, now what? Where I have to practice and implement those things.
Uh, Start with labs, I would say,
Okay,
DVW and all. Then later
okay,
on move on to HackerOne. Look out for some public programs. There might be the case that you would find something, but it would be a duplicate. As you are a beginner, but there are some people who have been into this field for a longer time and they would have reported this vulnerability. It's
yes,
okay, you got to know the vulnerability now. So when a private invite comes to you or you go on your client based side, you hire clients for testing them, then
right.
you could go, then that could be useful over there too. So duplicates are nothing, but yeah, it's a path. So it's a hurdle that you need to face
Uh,
over there.
so as for the lab, do you think Hack the Box and other CTF platforms might be good for practicing for bug bounty?
I Not much. I would like to say DVWA and those stuffs because there
And
you get to clear the
Portswigger is
yeah,
also
Portswinger
good.
Labs. Yeah,
Yeah. So
those
one
helps to
of the
clear your basics.
yes. So Portswigger Labs and DWA should be your practice platform, not the live hack websites. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And those who are watching this, I want to say that I told you that he has hacked into Sony, Mercedes, Red Hat, BlackBerry, Google. He had done it legally, not illegal way. Okay. So he had the permission to hack them and tell the vulnerability. Okay.
yeah,
Not to harm those organizations. Okay. So that's the difference between what we do and what black hat people do. So we don't do black hat stuff. Okay. So when we
yeah,
say hacked into some organization, we meant that penetration
yeah.
testing and tested that, reported a bug there, right?
All right,
So yes, so these are the resources for bug bounty and where the beginners can start and practice their bug bounty journey, right?
all right.
Okay. So as we all know, the first step of any hacking is, information gathering, gathering the information about the target, that what kind of organization it is, what is the service, what type of service it provides. Okay. So talking about information gathering, how you choose a target, how you gather information about it.
Uh, when I get an invite or even if it's a public program, I look out for a program that is a huge scope. So there are more things to look at, so there are more chances to find something good. If a target is stating that you have only these two websites that are in scope, there is a very less chance that you would find something very critical in there.
Okay, okay. Before moving on, I want to ask you. 95% of viewers don't know what a scope means. Can you please
Uh,
explain a little
Okay,
bit?
scope is something that when you start with bug hunting, a company
Mhm.
says that this is the things that you as a white hat should look into it, and you should find vulnerabilities only in those areas of the company. They are
Right,
network side, backend side. Those are not for us to exploit. They have their own researchers who are working on them. It's our part that the front website, that's our part mainly. So you should look into the in scope and out of scope stuff. If you report something that's out of scope, you won't be getting paid, you won't be receiving any points, swag, or anything. It's just your loss that you find something critical, but it's mentioned clearly in out of scope. So that should be read properly while you are starting with bug hunting and approaching to a program.
right. So a scope are the things that company has allowed us to test on, right? And out
Right.
of scope are not allowed and not eligible for bounties.
Not eligible for bounty.
Okay, so yeah, uh, we were talking about information gathering. Continue.
Yeah. So when there's a huge asset, there are many things where you can look into it. So first one, as always, subdomain enumerations. People always stop when they found one level subdomain. From one level subdomain, I mean, if
Right.
the target's name is redacted, they just look for abc.redacted.com. Why do they stop? I don't know, but they always stop over there. You should be looking at three level subdomains, fourth level subdomains too.
Okay.
That's the part that's not available to public, and that's the part where is the most juicy stuff you can find out over there. So when I
Right.
go to a abc.xyz.redacted.com, I may find a service or a login portal that's been used just for employees to log in. So if I
Hmm.
bypass that, I would be finding something critical. I would be getting access to the internal servers, internal data, and that's not something a company would really like to happen in an malicious way. So that's something I look out for mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so subdomain enumeration and going in more in depth of that is like you are going in places nobody else is searching and looking at, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's why it is an important part, right? So
Yeah.
after subdomain enumeration, what you do?
Uh,
And oh,
just
first
send.
of all, what tool you
Yeah.
use for subdomain enumeration?
Uh, Re-engine would be the one that has been latest released, and another
Okay,
one would be Osmodeus,
okay,
Sublister, and there are many tools out for the subdomain enumerations itself. Osmodeus is something that helps you to find in a loop 2 level, 3 level, 4 level subdomains. So when you
right.
get that much number of subdomains, it's a huge list to work on. It's almost like 500 subdomains. So it takes a while, but yeah, that would be the great part to start on with.
Okay, so now you have found subdomains, then how you look your targets, like how you select what would be the juicy target for you.
Look out for login portals. Look out for 404s. Subdomain takeovers could happen over there. Those are great 404 sometime. You can get
Yeah,
AWS service or Azure service that are running on the back end, but they removed the site, but they didn't remove it from their records. So they are still hosting that, paying for that server and using those servers, but not in use. So anyone could take over it. That could be one. Login portals are the most juicy stuffs, where the most juicy stuff lies, bypassing it, SQL injection or anything like
right.
that. Yeah. Send it to an HTTP probe and just take out a list which all are available. Rather, it's even sometimes it's redacted.com/redirected URL. There you
Okay.
can find an open redirect also sometimes. So yeah, that could be it too.
All right. So, like for Recon, where can we, find the resources and the blogs? Where can we read about Recon more to get better at it?
Recon is something that depends from every person to person. My methodology
Right.
is something else. Some other person might have some different methodology. For this normal type of recon, there are hundreds of blogs and medium available. Just type and bug bounty and this only.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
talking about Recon, if anybody is interested in, going deep into Recon, you can definitely follow Namsec on YouTube and Jason Hedex in general.
Jason
These
Haddox.
two guys, cover all about Recon, so you guys can follow that for sure, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so you now have your subdomains and you look for the target accordingly, right? So, uh, talking about subdomains, there is a thing called subdomain takeover. So, can you tell our viewers what is subdomain takeover and how to look for it?
Okay. For subdomain takeovers, it's mostly like when you hit a 404 wall, that's where you can find. But all 404s are not subdomain takeovers. So, for an example, if I have a subdomain that's stating that no such bucket found, error 404, that's where
Right.
I know 100% sure that AWS service is at the back end and this bucket it does not exist, but it's
Okay.
getting hosted on this subdomain. So if I take over this bucket, I would be getting access to this subdomain as well on my part. So just make
Okay.
an account on Amazon Web Services and you can create a bucket by that name. Amazon Web Services is a free service for 1 year. So yeah,
Yeah.
another
And
would be like Azure.
yes, yes. So AWS and Azure, mostly companies are shifting towards cloud and finding an Azure hosting and AWS bucket is, getting more common these days, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so how critical is subdomain and how much bounty you get for a subdomain takeover?
For subdomain takeover depends if it's a first level subdomain. I mean abc.redacted.com.
Right.
You may get a higher bounty because it has more priority. But if it's like xyz.abc.redacted.com, chances are you may be getting a smaller amount compared to the prior one, but still it's a great amount, whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So moving on to next, like, what's your favorite vulnerability? What vulnerabilities you look for while researching on a target?
Most of it would be login bypass,
Okay.
or it would be by RECON using SHODAN or something else and finding an RCE directly.
Okay. So those who don't know what Shodan is, can you explain what Shodan is and why it is
SHODAN
used?
is a platform just like Google, a search engine,
Right.
but it's a different search engine. It's something that you cannot see. It's something, it shows IoT devices, backend services that are being run on a server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a
So there
search
you
engine.
can find.
Yeah. Search engine for hackers, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you told us that your favorite vulnerability is, login bypasses. So how you do that? What methodology and what vulnerabilities you look there?
For login bypass, it would be like stealing cookies or something, manipulating with cookies and data. It would
Right.
be like accessing a particular endpoint that's not available to a user, but it's only accessible by an admin. So if I can access
Yeah.
that particular path or a URL, so that could be also it. You could get directly logged in into an admin. SQL injection is the most basic one to bypass any login scheme.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is good to know. I hope our audience are enjoying it and learning it, you know. Okay, so talking about audience, let's take audience questions. Okay.
Yeah.
So first question is from Vaishnavi Srivastava. She asks how to start in bug bounty if
Okay,
she's a
to
beginner.
start with, okay, to start with bug bounty, it would be always preferable that you start learning by a book. Learn the theoretical part first to know what the concept is, what's the
Right,
background of a vulnerability, and should
right.
be thorough with every bypass of a vulnerability, like encoding the payload, decoding it, injecting something else as well with the payload, and those stuff that are clearly mentioned in Web Application Hackers Handbook volume
Hmm.
2 to be precise. So
Okay.
yeah, that would be the first step itself for a beginner.
Right. And practicing in labs and getting hands-on
Practicing
stuff.
labs, yeah. Trial
Uh,
and error
and
is
I,
most important in this.
and I would recommend to get better at bug bounty. You have to be in connected with the community and heavily active on Twitter. Be
Yeah,
heavily active on Twitter and follow the people who are doing it. Right.
yeah, right.
And the second question is from unavailable underscore 236. He says, tell us about your first bug. How did you find it?
My first vulnerability would be like from Alibaba. Yeah, that
Okay.
one was the first vulnerability where I got rewarded actually. And it was a simple Android application. It was storing an insecure data on an external
Okay.
storage as well. So any attacker could take that file and exploit it, leakage of users' data. So
Right.
it was an Alibaba application, Android application.
Okay. The next question is not marshmallow. Uh, how do you perform your recon? What makes you feel that your target is juicy? Can you hear me?
Sorry, I wasn't able to hear you.
Okay. So not marshmallow is asking, how do you perform your
Yeah.
recon? What makes you feel that your target is juicy?
when the target has a huge asset in scope like Sony or Google, they have n number of services running on backend. They have so many ample of subdomains at back services. Just find those first. Next step would be going on Shodan, searching out, filtering docs and stuff like that. That's how you can get a whole data, put it into a mind map or something, or just jot it out on a paper. That these are the
Okay.
pages where there is a login portal or there is a 404, or it's something that should only be accessible to admin but not user. So just jot it down at first, work on it for a while. Like for me, recon always takes 2 to 3 days off a target. Some people are like they do recon in just 2 hours, 3 hours. That's not actually a
Right.
recon. You are just taking out subdomains and that's it. That's not it. You need to verify each and every subdomain by going over them manually. You should be working on each and every page bypass, filtering, sanitization of the data input. You should look for that in each and every subdomain available, each and every asset that you find via Shodan or somewhere else on GitHub, anywhere else.
Okay. So do you do Google Docking while doing recon?
Yeah, yeah, that
Or how do you use it?
Google Docking is like Google hacking, some people say.
Yeah, right.
So you just insert particular file, I mean site redacted, I mean Sony.com, just to take Sony as a target, site Sony.com and in URL. That means when there is a URL, you need this all parameters into that URL that needs to be present. So that could
Right.
be it. For Google Docking tips, you could visit Twitter. You can find ample of Google Docs. Aditya Shinde has a great list of Google Docs that he have posted on Twitter. I have retweeted some of them. I have also posted few of the Google Docs in my Twitter. So yeah.
Okay. Very well. So next question is from Ruben Vegas 90. How did you feel when you accomplished your first bounty?
It was actually great. It was like almost had been 4 months and I was just practicing bug hunting, solved the labs,
Okay.
did all this stuff, read books, but I wasn't getting anything. Alibaba was the first time that I received anything. Also,
Right.
the fun story was that Alibaba stated that when you get a bounty in this month, you would also be getting a reward in besides Ahmedabad for this. It would be
Okay.
a lock picking set or a backpack with lock picking set and something like that. And that's
Okay.
why I got excited that I was going to besides Ahmedabad. I wanted something there in front of everyone. So I found out
Right.
something over there, got the bounty. That bounty also caused me to get a lock picking set from Alibaba itself
Okay. So
at
do
B-Sides
you use that
Ahmedabad as
lock
a gift.
picking set?
Yeah, not much, but yeah, I have tried on few of my home lockers.
So does it work?
Yeah, it does actually work.
Okay. So now I need to know about that also after this talk. Okay. So that was our audience questions. Moving on to next question that I want to ask is, what is the 5 point you wanna share to our audience that they have to keep in mind while doing bug bounty?
Sorry, I wasn't able to hear you again.
Okay, so yeah, what are the 5 points you want to share with our viewers who are new to bug bounty that will be result in success in this field?
Persistence, hard work, it should be it. Persistence wise,
Okay.
you should be always motivated. You should be having a habit. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, continue.
Yeah. So yeah, so persistence would be it. Hard work. You should not be depressed when you are not finding anything. Actually, it has been over 3 weeks. I haven't hunted on anything yet. I was on a break. I would be hunting now. And so, yeah, you should be always trying something new. That would be it.
Okay, so persistence is the key and not getting bored or frustrated.
Yeah. You should be self-motivated by yourself.
Okay. So, have you been to any cyber security conference, like you said, B-Sides,
Besides
Ahmedabad?
Ahmedabad was the only one, yeah, last year.
Okay, so can you share your experience? How was it?
Yeah, it was pretty great. I was the young one of the youngest members over there present with my team, with my college friends, and we were actually the only team that was able to solve the crypto puzzle, hidden crypto puzzle they had over there.
Right.
So I was also been awarded some swag from the B-Sides community and hackerware.io. Yeah, over there.
Okay.
And the talks of stock, Franz Rosen, they were mind blowing.
Okay. Okay. So, yes. So, besides bug bounty, what else you like to do?
I am an avid reader.
Okay.
I like to read a lot of books, let it be mythological or sci-fi. I like to read those books as well. And gaming, as always, is everyone's passion.
Okay. So, what game you play?
Call of Duty would be it, one of it.
Okay.
GTA, everyone's love. Yeah,
I only play Counter-Strike and nothing else, intrigued me that much other than Counter-Strike in gaming.
it has been over a year. I haven't played that game yet.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we should make a Twitch stream account for that.
Yeah,
We'll make that someday so we can play
yeah,
and do some fun stuff over there. Okay.
yeah, that would be
So
fun.
so any, favorite podcast or music preferences you want to
It would
share?
be Namsek's Twitch channel. I recommend each and everyone who's a beginner to just go and watch his prior videos
Yeah.
on YouTube or Twitch. They
Okay.
are just great. The methodologies he uses, the tools he shares, his GitHub repo, it's full of information that you won't be able to find in books also sometimes.
Okay. Okay, so we are at the end of this talk. So before ending, I want to, play a game with you that is called 0 to 100. Okay, so I will ask you a question. You have to answer me in, quickest in one word, right?
Okay, cool.
Okay, so the first question is, who is your favorite hacker?
Namsek,
Okay, Kali or Parrot?
Kali,
Dream company to hack?
Nokia.
Okay, interesting. What is your dream to buy from Bug Bounty money?
Sorry, what?
Dream. What is your dream thing or dream stuff to buy from Bug Bounty money?
A great home, actually.
Okay. And
In Mumbai,
mentor?
a huge house.
Okay. Mentor? Your favorite mentor?
Sorry, what?
Your favorite mentor?
Favorite mentor would be Namsek, Jason Haddock, Stock. The list can go on and on.
Okay. So, and your favorite singer you listen to always while hacking? Did you hear me?
Sorry, no, I wasn't able to hear you.
Okay. So, favorite singer you listen to while hacking?
Uh, Shawn Mendes.
Okay. Ever done a black hat stuff?
Fishing and all, yeah, on school friends, college friends.
Okay. So, favorite anime you watch? Any
Not
favorite anime?
anime guy. Not
Not anime
anime guy.
guy? Oh. So, what is your favorite food while craving, while hacking at 3 a.m.?
Peanut butter sandwich.
Okay. So, that was the end of the segment. Hope viewers enjoyed this talk. Thank you, Shivang, for, sharing the information, sharing your experience, coming here and talking about, your journey. The resources you shared are quite useful for the beginners. They will guide them throughout their journey. And yeah, let's meet after this talk and do some hacking because you are also my hacking buddy. We do bug bounty
Yeah,
together. So after that, we are doing that. And Pratik Davi is coming next week. So that talk will be very
yeah,
interesting.
that
So
would be
yeah.
one of the great talks.
So yeah. Any social handle where they can follow you and ask questions from you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and ask ample of questions over there. I
What's
don't
your
use
Twitter handle?
Instagram much. It would be cipher underscore 942. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, you can go and check it out and ask him question there. He share resources and he's quite active there. Okay, Shivang, thank you for coming here today and sharing your experience with us. See you
Thank you for
some
having me
other
over
day.
there.
Okay, bye.